Hey, what's up everybody? So this one here is going to be kind of a longer video, but I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how I built my new ribbon burner forge, what happened, what went wrong, and how we ended up going around that idea. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I built my ribbon burner, how we did all the controls, how we finished off the inside, everything. So stick around, it's going to be a little bit of a long video, but by the end of this, hopefully you guys will be able to build your very own, and we'll go from there. Alright, there we go. Here's the old forge. It's a total piece. It's a propane tank. A couple burners, handmade burners, front of it, right? So we're going to go in with a new ribbon burner. We got a 3-inch square. This is actually my couple of 2x6s screwed together. That's my form for the inside here. Okay, this is going to end up being the new inside of my forge, which will fit a nice bottom there almost perfectly, so I could even throw a couple of these in. So it's about 5.5 inches wide and 7 inches tall. When it's done, you'll be able to throw a brick in the bottom, and I'm 7 inches from here all the way to the top. It's way more than enough room for any of the Damascus stuff we'll be doing. It's just a basically 2x6 all screwed together, and then I took some old pepperoni canisters and made the top. So pretty simple design. I think what I'm going to do is get this in there. Well, before I get it in there, I'm going to wrap it in cellophane. That'll make it waterproof for all of the components as we pour in the mix. And then I'll have to cut and fit this guy in there, which is going to be a perfect form for that burner. And once it's all done, we'll be able to cut and measure for the burner, and we can start making that guy as well. Stick around. That cable, that's nasty crap. Respirator, gloves, necessary. Stuff I learned too late. Okay, so I cut the two old burners off the top. I'm gonna leave this one just for a little bit of nostalgia. That's kind of where the K5 started. This was an old single burner that I turned into a side 2 burner. It served its purpose for several years at this point. Just doesn't quite get all the way to forge welding temp. So we're going to turn this guy into a ribbon burner. So after some fidgeting and fun and everything else, this is going to end up being inside of our forge there. I've got it coming out just inside. Let me grab a flashlight. Just inside. Had to cut the wood and all that fun jazz, right? And now I have a nice smooth transition. That'll be our ribbon burner coming in. So you can tell, I think I got a decent angle on it. I didn't want to come straight across. I kind of wanted to just come down to that far corner and get a nice, hopefully a nice swirl going around inside there. So I've seen a couple of different videos. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's where it's going to end up though. So next step, we'll line this guy with cable and get ready for some kast to get poured down around it. Yeah, we'll just wrap the forms and everything in cellophane. That'll make it easy to come back out. It'll just burn off if anything gets stuck in there, and it'll also make it waterproof for all the castellite. Okay, so I didn't get a lot of chance to video how I built the actual ribbon burner, and what I did was ended up no good, unfortunately. So I wanted to describe how we built the ribbon burner real quick before you see the rest of it. So I have, this is a 3-inch square pipe. I think it's only like 1/8 wall or something like that. It doesn't have to be thick. And then inside here, I had another plate that fit inside that ended up being ground like this internally. And I had to drill a series of holes in this plate before I stuck it in here and welded it. That's to get the air as it, so you're going to drill a big hole up here on the top. You have a plate welded here on the side with all the little holes drilled in this plate. I think I did probably like 3/16 holes or somewhere close to that range. I just did a bunch of them, but that disperses the airflow coming down. You don't want to weld this all the way down to these corners. You want it to come up just a little bit because that refractory is going to have to sit inside here. It's got to grab onto this metal. On the bottom side, I cut something similar to this. On the bottom, that left me a lip, okay? And that way when this fits inside the box, the refractory now sits right inside here. So I ended up with about a 1/2 inch of refractory in the bottom of this. This is the mold I ended up coming up with. It's just some wood that basically I just found would fit almost exactly. It was honestly pretty simple to make. I drilled a series of small holes into the wood. That's where the straws went in that you'll see me pull out here in a minute. And then I measured it out. You can see right here on the line. So I measured this line. I knew exactly how deep to pour the refractory cement inside of the box before I took this and put it on top of it. Now, one of the tricks is all the straws have to fit inside of this square. Make sure that you don't do the far outside square. Otherwise, nothing's going to line up. So, you'll see me talk a little bit more about it as I take it back apart, but I wanted to go through kind of how we did that prior to, and we'll keep it going. Okay, so here we go. We're going to uncast my very first ribbon burner on this video. So I cast this out of Castellite 30, which I know isn't the most popular piece to do, but it's what I had. As a matter of fact, I need some more for the forge. But this has been in the mold now for a little more than 24 hours. The one thing that sucks is I didn't spray the inside with WD-40 that I'd seen on another channel, which was super helpful, by the way. So we'll see how it goes. Now, it still has a long time to dry. I know it's going to be brittle, so we're going to be really careful trying to take this apart, and hopefully it stays together. Let's see what happens. I use these guys as a stopper. That way I know that my Castellite only ended up, actually the Castellite's about right here. So this is a 3x3 box, and the Castellite only went into it about a 1/2 inch. So we should have a nice lip inside there to hold everything together. Best part about having kids is finding your own tools. Said no one ever. All right. Not too bad so far. Left the silicone on there, but who cares? There you go. Tap the gas into that guy off. It's beautiful. So all I did was drill a series of holes in here. Took some Burger King straws, stuck them in there, Okay. Built it up along the edges, and then I measured. I knew exactly how deep this needed to be. So I'm actually super happy with this. There's white stuff around the edges. That's the silicone. Honestly, it's not going to hurt anything. It'll burn off. And it kind of left kind of nice little rounded edges there, really. So I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see if we can get these straws out of there. I just fold that straw all over, run it all the way down the side there, grab all of it, pull it out together. The worst part is getting all these straws to the same length. All right. There it is. My very first ribbon burner. So I think that's going to work out really well. I'm super happy with that. We still have several days before this is actually ready to fire or anything like that, but I'm super happy with that. Okay, so just for giggles, I took my heat gun, threw it in a vise, I turn it on low. I kind of like the heat gun idea. Just going to heat up the core of my deal here a little bit, but it's not crazy hot. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave it on medium. I turn it up just to get some airflow moving through it. But I can feel it moving out of each individual hole here. So now I know I got a nice even ribbon that's going to happen here. So as long as this stuff hardens up and does what it's supposed to do, my mixture was close. So I kind of one did a little bit on that one. Okay. So kudos, man. I'm just going to kind of let this ride for a little bit. Let the block get a little bit warm internally, and then I gotta head out. So it's gonna sit for a week before I get back to it. I'll probably just leave it inside, and it should be good to go by then. You guys see me mess around with this earlier in the video. It would have honestly been a great idea. I decided to leave it in the video in case it worked out for somebody. Unfortunately, when I ordered my cable, I ordered 2-inch cable and not the 1-inch. So this and the cable did not fit inside my forge. But I kind of wish that would have worked out. Like I said, I left it. Hopefully it works out for somebody else. Also, before this next little piece of the video, I wanted to talk to you about the satanite. So this was initially a 10-pound bag of satanite. I used 3 pounds of it. So 7 pounds to 5 cups of water. That was the mixture I ended up with. You know, you're gonna have to do the math to figure it out. But that gave me a really nice mixture going into the forge with. It was nice and smooth, easy to work with. But the original mixture that they had written on the box, I did that at first and realized it was completely wrong. It was just really soupy, if you ask me anyway. So I came up with my own mixture, and I wanted to share that with you guys. It was just a nice consistency. It worked out really well. So anyway, stick around, and we're going to go on ahead and get the inside of the forge done. We'll go through that a little bit more. We'll stick the ribbon burner in there, and we'll get everything up and going for you. Okay, so here we go. Got the beginnings of my ribbon burner. This is my 1.5-inch ball valve for the airflow. Okay, there's a 1.5-inch tube, and it's going out to a 2-inch. I did a 2-inch at the ribbon burner itself, just in case I have to increase the size of this pipe. I don't think I'm gonna have to. It's only a 10-inch ribbon burner, so it should be more than enough. And then I'm also going to take a piece of black pipe. We're going to drill a hole here and weld it in kind of at an angle. I don't want it straight in, because this is where the gas is going to get ejected, is through this piece. But we got some components. So we have our little needle valve. Unfortunately, all I could find was a compression valve. It's not what I wanted. I wanted a flare, but it is what it is. So got a needle valve. This guy here, once I add all the copper components, is going to end up with my nozzle right on the end of it. But I wanted to be able to just flare out the end of it and change nozzle sizes if I wanted to. So I think I'm gonna start small. We'll work our way up, see how much gas pressure we actually need and all that fun jazz to get a nice good flow of gas coming out of here. So this will fit down. It doesn't fit right now, I'll have to grind it down. But this will fit down inside the pipe and just stick out the very end of it, allowing that gas to get picked up coming out of the end of the nozzle there. So that one there's just the other end. So this is where my actual gas line here will connect. Right here. Oops. Okay. Connect into the system. And then that flare connector. Oh, I'm doing a good job today. All right. I'm going to pipe it right through a solenoid valve. So we're going to take the solenoid, adapt here, do everything that we need to do, come out. I'm going to wire the solenoid valve in through a switch that will turn the solenoid and the fan on at the same time. That also provides a little bit of a safety, so that way if the fan loses power for any reason, it immediately shuts the gas off. Or if I just reach down, something goes wrong, I can just reach down, hit the switch, and it's over. I've eliminated the airflow, I've eliminated the fuel, right? So hopefully we can eliminate any kind of fire that may or may not happen. It's definitely a nice little safety piece to have. Stick around. I might do a little bit of high speed here or something like that and let you guys see the process. Don't beat me up. I know I'm not supposed to weld into galvanized, but I don't have a lot of choice. So it's the only 1.5 and 2 inch pipe I could find anywhere around here. So I'm just gonna have to clean it up as best I can and weld it. So at least I have a nice open area to do that in, so don't beat me up too much. All right, so let's teach some of you guys how to do a proper flare here real quick. This is just a piece of 3/8. This is soft copper ridge reamer. You have to get rid of the ridge in here when you cut it with the pipe cutter. It folds over the edge of that pipe, and if you go to try to flare it, that edge stays with it. So you have to get rid of the edge. In this case, I just take a little ridge reamer and just kind of get rid of it. Make sure there's nothing in there that's gonna bite. Remember, on a flare fitting, no Teflon tape, no putty, no amount of putty or anything else is going to stop the damn thing from leaking. Don't, okay? The flare is actually sealed on the inside of the component. So the sealing surface is from the inside of the pipe to right here on the outside of that flange, okay? When these two marry together, so no amount of pipe dope, oil, or anything else you put on there is gonna stop this from leaking. And if you don't get rid of that ridge, it's gonna leave a burr and it's gonna leak. Okay, so what I just did there in high speed, all right? Stuck that nice little flare piece in there. Remember, it's gonna seal right there. The only thing this is gonna do is just compress this flange to the inside of the flare right here. So this guy here, I'm not sure what size hole. a certain amount of propane going in there. So anyway, this is kind of the burner assembly that's going to fit down inside the pipe. I will actually have to grind this nut down just a little bit in order to fit inside of here. Okay, and then it's going to come out, and then it'll go right into my needle valve. Okay, my needle valve, and then my solenoid. This is nice soft copper, so I can just kind of bend it whatever way I want to do it. Do my needle valve and my solenoid, and then from there we can just flare it out, and it'll go right into my line going straight down to the tank. So that's the idea. Okay, so I kind of finished it up. Here's where my propane hose will be connected to. Soldered connections right into my solenoid. My needle valve, so I can have some nice control over it. I decided to go on ahead with a 1 inch, or an 1/8 inch hole to start with. Kind of poked around with it there a little bit. You remember I said I had to round that one flare nut off right here. I still have plenty of meat on there. I'm not hurting anything. I really didn't think about it as I was building it though, but this actually made a really nice piece, because as I come into, I think this is a 1 inch pipe. As I come into that 1 inch pipe, it is a nice tight fit up inside there. So, and then it'll just inject right into the pipe. And then I'll just have to come up with something here. I don't know what I'll use yet. So just something to kind of block that off, but it shouldn't get hot in theory. Might get a little warm just from being close to the forge, but so I'm not too concerned about it. But I get a nice tight fit out of there. I can actually see my nozzle sticking out. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Try to get you can kind of see that nozzle sticking out inside there just a little bit. I wanted a full flow of air and that nozzle. So far it's working out good. I think we'll stick it together here in a minute. Put the kind of mock the fan up to it and see how it burns. I'll just let it burn outside the chamber. I don't even have the forge ready to go yet. I still have to line the inside of it and everything else. But my burner, I haven't actually lit my burner yet, obviously. It has been sitting for almost a week, hardening, drying, doing whatever it does. So it actually looks really good, which you'll see here in a couple minutes, and we'll see if it works or not. We'll go from there. Okay. They say all good welders started out as good grinders. I'm a better grinder yet. Kind of the theory of knife making, right? So anyway, this will be my tube. This guy here will go straight into my ribbon burner. Actually, it kind of angles over, and then my propane will be injected in here at a little bit of an angle, so we make sure it goes this way, which it will anyway, because that's the way the air is going. But I just didn't want something coming straight out the side of my forge either. I kind of wanted something coming down. So cool, stick around. Okay, so just because I'm me, we're gonna play around with it and make sure I got proof of concept, right? You actually hear my fan back here. I got it plugged in. I just have a little makeshift deal that I got a hose coming off of, an old vacuum hose. Plugged a vacuum hose right into my 1.5-inch ball valve, which actually works really well. This might actually stay in place, so we'll see how it goes. Plugged my all my copper in. I got it tied right into my fires right up. Actually doesn't look too bad. That sucker. Oh, we're gonna be melting some steel here soon and creating some much better Damascus. 10-inch ribbon burner, 1.5 inch tube, 3/8 inch. Man, it's working really well. So I'm excited about it, and we'll see what happens. That almost looks really, really good right there. So stick around, man. We'll just get this guy stuck in the porch here soon, and we can start melting some steel off. Well, we got one first super thin layer on, which is fine. Just got a heat gun in there swirling it around right now. Let that sucker dry out there a little bit. My ribbon burner piece is working out quite well. So at least now all the fibers are covered. Everything looks really good inside. I know you can't really see in there, but yeah, I'm actually really happy with it. So we'll keep going, and I'm going to make at least one, probably 2 more layers of this stuff before we take it off. So okay, so I know you guys can't really see anything, but kind of got it tuned in. Got my air valve maybe 3/4 of the way open, and that's even on 1.5 inches there. And just with some cheesy little piece. So right now my gas valve pretty much running close to nothing, and it is. She is hot. Like, I got it tuned in, and it is hot in there. So, porch welding temperatures, no problem. 10-inch ribbon burner on a, what is that, a 7.5 propane cylinder with the end cut off. Way more than enough. So, this has turned out way nicer than I ever thought it would. It is super, super quiet. That was one thing I wasn't quite expecting, which is really nice. So I think it's actually conserving quite a bit of gas, but we'll find out over time, see how that goes. So that, I'll finish up. I still need to wire in the solenoid, build a handle for the valve, and you know, I want to get it lifted up off this part here just a little bit where it's kind of been setting. Man, I'm literally, I'm about 4 feet away, and even I can feel the heat coming into my sweater right now. It's cranking. That is most impressive. So I am super excited. We're going to be forge welding some steel here soon, and I can tell you this is the last time I ever have a forge without a ribbon burner. This is awesome. So eventually I'll finish this off. I'm actually going to make, I haven't decided yet, I might do like a drop down for the door, or I might do like a crosshatch. I haven't quite decided yet. I don't think I want to do the drop down thing. I don't really want levers or anything. I just want something I can roll off to the side, back and forth. But I'll play around with it some more. This one here is just kind of the test fire. Get it tuned in. We're just really kind of smoking this thing off, but I mean, I can touch my pieces here. I mean, I got my hand on it. You know, it is nice and cool. My ribbon burner is nice and cool. So I am very, very happy with this setup. I can't wait to actually get it to start producing for me. All right. So here is the final forge. I just finished throwing a coat of paint on the outside of it. It actually stays fairly cool. So I'll just do a quick once over. I just did a 1/2 inch bar here across the top. Stuck some eyelets in there and some hanging pieces. These are awesome because I can just roll these off to the side. Inside, fired really well. So on the 10-inch ribbon burner, no, it's not perfectly smooth. The one thing I have to admit, I wish I did. If you look at the angle of this coming in, it comes in and swirls actually really well. with this in here, but if I put one more brick on there, it kind of screws everything up a little bit. I think I could fix that by angling this a little bit more towards this back wall. So rather than shooting here, it would hit more like here and come around. But for right now, I'm actually super happy with that. Oh. 10-inch ribbon burner. I didn't permanently put these on, just so I could move it if I wanted to. That's the 2-inch pipe coming in, neck down, 1.5. Solenoid valve. There is, if anybody wants to know, that is what the Dayton blower is, 485. So my switch that I added, yeah, and it's made out of what are those, the 7.5 propane tanks, or the 30-gallon propane tank, I don't know what they're called, the one that you normally find on an RV, this size here. So that's it. She fires really well, cooks absolutely amazing. Definitely makes its way all the way up to forge welding temp. I hope you enjoyed the build, and drop a thumbs up, subscribe, do your thing, and we'll see y'all later.